I was scrolling through TikTok the other day and I see a woman asking a chef a hamburger. And he said, "Oh, well, we could do some good old hamburgers." And they did it. And then I saw blood on her clothes. And I think to myself, wow, this might actually be an interesting movie. Go ahead and give it some good old research. And the menu of today's episode is going to be The Menu. Yeah, the name of the movie is The Menu. So the menu is a movie that criticizes capitalism. There's like three people talking about this movie. Some people say that this whole movie is just some good old interesting poking fun of the thriller concept. Some people say that this movie is about people who were criticizing about capitalism. Some people said that this movie is criticizing many different people, especially towards the food industry. You know, the food critics, the food influencer, the food lover, the simper. Basically, they critics about everything. Again, I don't want to go into the movie analysis. I'm just gonna go ahead and review the whole entire movie itself. So, our main character of this movie, by the name of Margaret, she essentially following her boyfriend into a very remote island that has a very high class restaurant by the name of Hawthorne. From there, unfortunately, she was met with a psychotic chef that was serving her the so called menu, the last menu that he will ever serve in his entire life. So called the most perfect menu ever. The menu is not perfect actually. There's like a in one of the scenes there's like a menu. The name of the menu is The Mess. So it's a perfect menu by the name of The Mess. And you saw a guy and he shot himself and then he died, creating a mess of blood. Yeah. So as you can see from there, you can see that the whole entire theme of this movie is horror and psychological thriller. Again, I don't want to talk about the meat in the sandwich of this entire movie itself. You know, we don't want to spoil the fun because you can always watch it yourself to experience the whole thing. I'm just here to review the thing. In my opinion, when it comes to plot, pacing, acting in this movie, it was phenomenal. It was great, actually. It was great. It's not phenomenal. I'm not gonna go ahead and give it phenomenal. I'm just gonna go ahead and give it great. Um, because this movie is mostly psychological, so there's not a lot of movement being made by the character. And of course, the chef has to play kind of like a psychotic role. I love when he made a very small gesture with his face, the like slightly raising his eyebrow to show happiness, the slight movement on his mouth to show maybe a slight of distress or uncomfortableness. I like that. I really like that kind of acting, That took talent and effort to be able to produce emotion with just a small hint of movement. So the acting is good. The pacing itself is very good as well. The movie was great. There's no like boring moment. You know how you watch a decent movie and you have this moment of boringness or autopiloting in your head? Like, your mind is somewhere else. You're watching a movie, but your mind is totally somewhere else. No, I don't have those moments. Every moment was completely dense, packed, tense. And I was watching the movie and I was really paying my attention towards the whole thing from start to finish. The movie, the pacing was which means that the pacing itself was great. Um, the soundtrack is also great, but the problem is that you gotta understand that when it comes to psychological thriller, the plot is really hard for you to grasp because like it's a double meaning type of plot. You don't know what's going on. It's like it's telling you a story, but you have to understand what's the meaning behind it. The actor was supposed to represent people in real life because that's the reason why I talk about capitalism or influencers or blah 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 at the start of the video itself. That's the reason why I have to start the video with analysis. It's because that this movie is full of double meaning. It's full of meanings that if you are just a casual watcher who don't want to think too hard, you're not gonna get it. And that is probably the first impression that I've gotten from this movie is because when I watch it, I think to myself, oh wow, that's interesting. Okay, anyway, like, huh? You know, like the movie is interesting, but huh? It's like, how do I say this? In an analogy, it's like a very beautiful sword, really sharp, but it cannot cut people. it's a beautiful sword, but it cannot cut people. You just don't get it. You just really don't get it. You have to, in a sense, go to a movie review to be able to understand what exactly that you are watching here. So the plot, uh, I guess maybe because I'm a little bit biased when it comes to psychological thriller movie. Yeah, like bro, I have to think to watch a movie. Like again, I understand there's a concept in this type of theme, in this type of genre, okay? I understand, I'm just a little bit biased. So, on the suckiness level, how much do I give this? I give this one a 3 on the suckiness level. It's a 3. Does it suck? Yeah, 3 out of 10 suck. So, yeah, that is my final decision on this entire movie itself. It was interesting, but you probably had to, watch it, give it a watch, and then think of it a little bit moment and then go and can then go ahead and go to a YouTube video, the menu analysis. Oh, I understand now. The movie is about this thing.